Christmas and happy holidays, everyone. I'm sliding down your chimney to stuff your stocking with a little bonus episode. Now, don't worry, I won't trouble you long during this holiday season. You can probably listen to this whole show while squatting on the pot, making room for another slice of pumpkin pie. There's an image for you. I'm just dropping by because recently I learned something quite interesting about one of my favorite Christmas carols, and I thought that you all, as the intellectually curious lot you are, would find it interesting too. So, you know the song, "O Come All Ye Faithful." Of course you do.
Leti triumphantes, venite, venite, in Bethlehem. Natum videte, regem angelorum, venite adoremus, venite adoremus, venite adoremus, Dominum.
It's wicked famous, and quite important. In its original Latin version, Adeste Fideles, it is the final anthem of the Vatican's Midnight Mass. There's an argument to be made that the text of this version goes back to the Cistercian monks of the 13th century, specifically St. Bonaventure. Others argue that composer and organist John Redding popped it out in the late 1600s, and there's even a legend that the late King of Portugal, John IV, wrote it. In fact, for quite some time in England, it was known as the Portuguese Carol. But we don't really know for sure. Myself, I lean toward the earlier dates because French writer Rabelais in his Gargantua includes a pun on the hymn's refrain. That refrain, venite adoremus, O come let us adore him, Rabelais puns as venite apotemus, O come let us drink. And he's writing way back in the 1530s. Anyway, the hymn became useful because it echoes many of the teachings found in the Nicene Creed. Now, for those of you unaware, the Nicene Creed was promulgated in 325 AD as the orthodox statement on the nature of Christ. This religious debate was whether Christ and God the Father were of one substance, co-eternal and equal, or whether Christ was a creation of God the Father and therefore subordinate. This latter proposition, called Arianism, was denounced as heresy, and the former became church dogma, the very bedrock of Christian faith. The lines from the Creed, God from God, light from light, true God from true God, begotten, not made, of one being with the Father, are echoed in Adeste Fideles' second verse. Quote, God of God, light of light eternal, lo, he abhors not the virgin's womb, Son of the Father, begotten, not created. That weird line, yeah, it sounds weird to me, about not abhorring the virgin's womb, is about God's willingness to accept the incarnation, the messiness and vulnerability of becoming physically human. It's from the Te Deum, a prayer of praise that probably goes back to the 4th century. But anyway, packed into this pleasant little Christmas carol is a quite potent and complex theological argument, and one that determined the course of Western Christianity and, by extension, Western civilization, for at least the next 1800 years. So that's kinda cool. But wait, there's more. Adeste Fideles comes to England at about the period we're covering in the main podcast, the early to mid-18th century. The earliest manuscript we have dates from 1743, But time, as you all know, can be a bit wibbly-wobbly. What we do know is that a music copyist named John Francis Wade is usually credited with composing the hymn as we know it. Here's the interesting bit, though. Wade was a devout Catholic and a great supporter of the Stuart cause. Now, remember, in 1688, James II, the Catholic Stuart king, is deposed by Parliament, who invites the Protestant William, Duke of Orange, to take the throne, and he becomes William III with his wife Mary. Well, he becomes William III, and he's married to Mary, who becomes his queen. You know what I mean. This obviously leaves a fair portion of disaffected Catholics and Stuart supporters running about pressing the claim for the putative James III, and that would be James Francis Edward Stuart, who's known to history as the Pretender. Wade was one of these guys. But after the failed Jacobite uprising in 1745, which was in support of the Pretender's son, the very famous Bonnie Prince Charlie, Wade was forced into exile in France, where he taught music at the English College, which was a refuge for his Catholic countrymen, formed to combat the ravages of the Protestant Reformation. Against this backdrop, one can read the lyrics of Adeste Fideles as coded for Jacobitism. Scholar Bennett Zahn points out that Wade used many Jacobite symbols in his publishing. Now, let's have a look at the first verse, first in Latin. Adeste fideles laete triumphantes, venite, venite in Bethlehem. Natum vidite regum angelorum, venite adoremus, venite adoremus, venite adoremus Dominum. And now, here's the 1841 translation by Father Frederick Oakley. This is the one we know. O come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. O come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. O come, let us adore him. O come, let us adore him. O come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. So, the carol is a call to worship and adoration, an imperative to behold the King of Heaven, and to do so en masse, as a collective, a community, a people. It beckons the faithful, in this case meaning both fidelity, loyalty, those loyal people, and faith as religious belief. It beckons them to Bethlehem, the site of Christ's incarnation. Then it asserts Christ's dominion over all. The Lord is, of course, capitalized, as is the Dominum in the Adeste Fideles. But it's pretty easy to plug in more mundane, secular meanings too. The faithful could be read as those who adhere to the true line of Stuart succession, who support the Jacobite cause. Because Bethlehem at the time was a pretty well-known cipher for London, specifically Westminster. Perhaps this is an invitation to all Catholic exiles to return to England in order to adore Regum Angelorum. Now, here's where we get a bit word nerdy. Regum Angelorum literally translates as King of Angels, as Father Oakley has it. But it sounds very much like Regum Anglorum, King of the English. So it's Angelorum, Angelorum, King of the Angels, versus Anglorum, Anglorum, King of the English. And of course, it's very misprintable too, you can be sure. Now, by the way, Oakley did make a slight alteration to the Latin. He translates laete triumphantes as joyful and triumphant, whereas the original probably means something closer to joyfully triumphant. I like the change, if you can call it that in an original translation. The latter scans awkwardly. You'd have to stress the ly suffix in joyfully, and that just feels weird. Of course, we seldom stress the word and in most poetry, as we'd have to in the other version, but here it kind of works because it, emphasizes that the faithful are both joyful and triumphant, right? There's two adjectives of equal importance, and it subtly builds the musical cadence as well, right? All the beats get emphasis. Dun, 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 dun. There's a confident, striding, marching feel to the line. The other rendering, joyfully triumphant, it only gives us one adjective, triumphant, and a rather needless adverb in joyfully. Like, is anyone triumphant miserably? So there you have it. One of the most famous and important Christmas carols of all time may also be a seditious rallying cry to topple the usurping Protestant regime in England. That is pretty exciting stuff. Hope you all have a wonderful holiday season. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your time and your support. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you in the new year.
Oh, come ye, oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Oh, come, let us adore